Hello everybody and welcome into today's video. Today we are in for a long one. Over the last 3,000 years, the region of the Middle East has seen many empires rise and many empires fall. From the Ottomans to the Abbasids to the Persians to even the Romans making their way into the Middle East. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to build an empire that will stand for 1,000 years and more. A caliphate that even the Abbasids can't even compare with. Today, we are going to be using the Graveyard of Empires Afghanistan Rework mod here on HOI4. And with that mod, we are going to turn Afghanistan into a caliphate like none other. I have not done a deep dive into this just yet, but from the screenshots I saw, this mod and this nation have some hell of a buff. The buffs for this mod look to be incredible, and I cannot wait. So without further ado, let's hop on in as the kingdom of Afghanistan. So starting off, we only have 2 research slots. That's perfectly fine. That's to be expected. Just like base game as well, there is no extra building slots, so we're just going to max out and focus mainly on civies for now. Looking at decisions, everything seems to be mostly the same. We've got the Persian Empire. That was a nice formable. I don't mind considering that. But the part that I've been waiting for is this, the focus tree. Now, we obviously over here, we've got our industry tree, we have our army tree, and we have Air Force and Navy. These two obviously very small. But the part I'm paying attention to is this. Resist reformism, support the Waziristan uprising, and go down to declare a jihad and make a new caliphate. And I'm looking at these here and look at the population, war goal breakthrough. We get war goals all over. I am very, very excited to see how powerful this can make us, because obviously Afghanistan starting out isn't necessarily a strong nation. So fingers crossed we can have a real good party time with this one. And it's finally time. The Waziristan uprising, one man against an empire. Peshawar gets a bunch of negatives buffs for us. Intel to enemies and all that happens. But because the uprising has now happened, this is now open, which means we can now do the support the uprising. Hopefully it doesn't trigger a civil war. I'm not sure if it will or not, but either way, I want to get this done. I want to get this sorted ASAP. Also, I want to point this out as well. I was looking at my industry focuses and like minus 15 consumer goods, minus 25 consumer goods. Again, civies, a lot of building speed bonuses and that. But let's just do the math really quickly. So minus 15, minus 25. That brings us to minus 40 consumer goods. Then I come over here and there is this chap over here, Abdul Majid Zabuli, who gives us minus 15. So that totals at minus 55 consumer goods factories. That is insane. Okay, so here we are with the Emirate of Afghanistan. We now have a new leader. We now have Mazali Khan Wazir as our leader. We're about to finish our focus here, revert Amanullah's reforms, which gives us political power stability. As I said before, I am now in this place of where I'm, minus 55 consumer goods, which is amazing because that is, outstanding. I've just noticed this. Towards autarky, modify developing industry, minus 50. So I'm now going to be at minus 70 consumer goods factories. That's absolutely insane. I'm going to go through these focuses, get my, division defense, political power, research slots. I'm going to do this, which is going to give me civilian factories, maxed factories, supplies, everything through the roof, get research slot, mill factories, and then this comes the good part here. This is the expansion part, and I cannot wait. And with our focus only one day until we get our claim on India, it is time to address the situation. The Afghan Caliphate is ready to expand. The British Raj and the Allies are looking big, but we've got a democratic Germany fighting against the UK, and Italy who just crumbled to Germany. The French are communist. The world's falling apart, and I feel like an Afghan Caliphate is probably the best way to restore the order. Now, a little while ago, I did a focus, and this focus gave me claims on the world. It was this focus here, Unite the Muslim World, and it said it'd give me cause or claims on all territory that is deemed to be ours. Turns out, the whole world is supposed to be ours. Except for Italy, though. Italy get an exception. And now we are about to start this war, which will take us into battle with the Allies. And I thought to myself, my army, I'm not too sure on how well it's going to go. What are my military focuses are like? And then I clocked this. Let's just take professional and people's army out of the picture for the moment and just go down the middle, okay? Division attack, division defense. plus 10%, plus 15 for org. Infantry attack, infantry defense, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus minus 10, plus 5. It's again plus 10, plus 10. Yo, my troops, my army is about to be turned into absolute monsters. They said Afghan was the graveyard of empires, and it's not completely false at all. But we are about to turn the whole world into a graveyard of empire, because there's only one remaining, and it's the Afghan Caliphate. Now, with it right here into India, we're going to go ahead and enact this. I'm hoping I don't regret this. All my troops are on standby. All my troops are go, except for these guys. I just want them to hold the border. I don't want them to do anything too crazy. Go ahead, review the state of the army. Org plus 5. This is crazy. We also just got an interesting invitation. It was Japan. Japan wants us to join the Greater East co-prosperity sphere. And being as I'm already at war with the allies, I think I'm probably going to accept that. So I'm going to go ahead and accept it. And now we have ourselves some allies, especially Iran and Iraq. They're both part of the same faction as well. So fast forward our way to 1941. And as you can see, I'm still doing my best to expand into India. And I've also just noticed this as well. Integrate Baluchistan, which will give me the core. I'm very happy to receive that. I have to say though, these military buffs are absolute lifesavers, and that is not an understatement at all. Not only do I not have many soldiers or many divisions to begin with, right, but because of these buffs, I'm able to hold my own against so many nations. I'm against Italy, I'm against Britain, I'm against France, I'm against the Raj, I'm against Canada, I'm against America, I'm against all these nations all at one time in India, a nation with, you know, not much in the way of infrastructure either. I am absolutely amazed by these buffs, and my God, are they my blessings right now. And just like that, India has fallen. We've managed to take most of the land. I've also gone ahead and done the decision here to triumph over the Indian region, which gives me cores on all the land, which is absolutely delicious, which also explains our 5.2 million manpower. Now, this is going to put us into a little bit of a pickle, because obviously we are fighting against all of this, and we are little diddy Afghanistan that's still from the mountains. So we've got a lot of building up to do, a lot of industry to focus on, a lot of grinding, a lot of equipment to, you know, re-get, because we've got minus 22k. It doesn't tend to be good. Again, I'm going to disappear off camera. I feel like this playthrough at least is probably going to drop us at like 1950 odd. It's going to be a long one. So I'm going to try and do as much as I can off camera. I'm going to build up, and then hopefully I'll be in a position to where I can help the Japanese out by taking out the Raj over in Burma, Indochina, and China. And then after that, we can turn our tails westward to help Iraq push the French and the Brits out. Like I said, it was going to be a long one. We've managed to lock on in, and with the help of Japan and the People's Republic of China, we have managed to get rid of the Republic of China, and we're slowly pushing the French out of Indochina. Things are going well. Industry is looking phenomenal. You know, our equipment stocks are looking pretty good as well, you know, except for anti-air. We'll ignore that for the moment. But we have one goal right now, and that's just, I need to try and get the French and the British out of the picture, because when they're out of the picture, I can then focus on the Soviet Union, because Japan and China are against the Union, as well as the UK, the French Commune, and the US as well. So the quicker I can get the allies out of the picture, the second I can focus on the European Pact, and then after that, me and Japan are going to have to go after Europe, because again, I have cores and claims on just about everything. But I just know that I'm going to have to do with Africa exactly what I've had to do with Indochina and China, and that's like take a bit of land and then just build infrastructure like crazy just to get some form of equipment to my divisions. Otherwise, they're going to starve. I mean, look at the British divisions. They're already starving. They've got nothing to them. Even the French. Well, that's completely logical and causes me no pain at all. So for some reason, the Japanese just randomly captured the Soviet Union, and now we have the state of Japan, which is democratic, the Soviet Japan over here, and then the PRC, the People's Republic of China, just randomly capped. So now I'm having to deal with well, all of this. And it says I have Japan as an ally, but I don't know where this Japan exists. I have no clue. Oh, here we go. Saipan. Yeah, that's all they have. They literally just have Saipan, the most reliable ally in the world. Thank you so much. Now I've got to deal with this. Okay, right. Well, I'm going to try and do what I can do, and hopefully I can pull this back on a solo level. So I'm now bringing you to the world in the state of 1950, and things are a little bit of chaos. We now against the Germans as well as the Brits and the French, because everyone's just decided to declare on us. It's not ideal. The only people who are being semi-nice to us are the Soviet Union. Thanks to that, we're borrowing their military access, and doing so, we've helped them push back back into Belarus. But then there's this. The Brits have managed to take Berlin. Munich is about to go, or Munich's already gone rather. All we've got to do is take Stuttgart, and thanks to my divisions, we are literally just about to break through and take Stuttgart real ricky tick. Hopefully this gets the Germans to cap, and then after this, we can focus on bringing down the Spanish and the Italians. And after taking Stuttgart, we are now at this point here where the Germans are 14% and they need 20 to cap, which is fine. The only person left to cap now is the Polish and then the Swedes. And then after that, it's game over for that faction. What's the name of the faction again? I completely forget. The Central European Alliance. Cool. After that, I'll just need to borrow the Soviets' help to take care of the Allies, French, America, the UK, etc. And then after that, maybe I go after the Soviet Union? I don't know. It's already 1950. I've already been playing this game for what, nearly 20 years? Should I go on until the 70s to do this? I don't know. And after a long old battle, we finally got our first peace treaty, this one being against the German faction. Now, the Soviet Union did help us, but we also did a lot of the legwork. Although it doesn't necessarily reflect, because here it says I got 3%. I wasn't only pushing against the Germans, remember. I was pushing against the French and the Brits at the same time, as well as the Americans, because whenever this faction got taken over by the West, we took over what was left from the West. With that being the case, I'm going to justifiably take what I deem as mine. Now, we do have cores on the whole world, but I feel like that's just taking the cake a little bit. So I'm only going to take what the Islamic Caliphate, from my knowledge at least, wanted to claim. So with that being the case, I'm going to do myself a peace treaty, and I'll see you in just a moment. And there is your peace treaty. We've got Iceland taking most of the Nordic faction, the Soviet Union consuming most of Europe. We've gone ahead and taken Italy, as well as the Balkans over here. We also ended up taking all of Spain, but obviously because of our other war, this is no longer in existence. If we go over here as well, I'm going to be planning to take this from the French in the next peace deal as well. Overall though, not much change. Belgium, Africa went to Portugal. For the most part though, this is pretty much the peace treaty. Just the Brits took this, the French took this, the Soviets took this, and we took the Balkans. I'm hoping the next peace treaty against these guys is going to be easier now that the Germans are out the picture, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I am absolutely nowhere near finishing this whole thing. I am quite a way off. As you can tell, it's 1952, and I'm still trying to process my way through France. However, I just want to show off my tank divisions, okay? I now have a fully equipped tank corps, and I am all for this. This is the template. I have 500, nearly 600 breakthrough, and I just want to, let's find a good, okay, like, there we go, just boom. And then send in the 2 from the side. That was a really poor example, huh? Never mind, hold on. There we go, let's try this lot. 3, 2, 1. There we go, that's much better. Look at that. It's because they haven't got those damn Americans holding down the fort. Those American infantry templates are not to be dismayed. Anyway, I'll see you once I've managed to finish up cleaning up mainland Europe. This is going to be a hassle because of all this air power and obviously the Navy, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And after another time skip, we are now in 1954. As you can see, we've finally taken Europe, and the only rest of the presence that remains now, realistically, is it the Mediterranean and North Africa. It's going to take me a long time to clean this up, but I'll see you when we're just about to cap the US. It's going to take me a long time. I need to build a navy to get over there in the first place. The only reason I got lucky and was able to land in Dover was thanks to my 77 subs and then the Soviet Navy, wherever it may be. And after an incredibly long grind fest, the US has capitulated. Now, the Soviet Union managed to land in Mexico, and we did a lot of the heavy lifting from there. Thanks to that, the Americans have now capped. They've fallen. It's just a matter now of just dealing with the Canadians. And I think after the Canadians are out the picture, I'm pretty sure it's game over from there. Yeah, Canada are the last one. So let's just get this all wrapped up, get it all finished, and head on home back to the lands of the Caliphate. And here we are. The peace treaty is finally here. It is all finally over. The Afghanis and the Soviet Union have managed to defeat the rest of the world. Now it's time to clean up shop. Now, we did come out with 55% of the war effort, which is, 10%, 16 or 11% more than the Soviet Union. So that means we can have a bit of fun taking what we want. Remember, we only want to take the lands. I may have a claim on everything, but I only want to take Caliph territory. So bear with me and I will cook up something. Let him cook. And there you have it. We ended up reaching the end game screen. It's game over. We actually came second to the Soviet Union. But if we take a look at the peace deal, it's very interesting. We managed to walk away with most of what I wanted. I do want to go after the Turkish, the Bulgarians, and the Romanians, but they are part of the Soviet Union, and I really don't want to tempt fate. I might just quickly go after Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and Oman to get this all looking nice, but I feel like that's a successful Afghan Caliphate. I think that's pretty damn good. China was a puppet. We've got Jaibei Sanma Free State. The state of Japan took this. The DPRK took that. Mongolia expanded quite a little bit as well. We also have the Mexican junta led by Salvador Abascal. Colombia grew a leg. And we also have the Afghan Protectorate of America. What a name. I managed to puppet them and then the Canadians with this creepy dude. But yeah, and oh yeah, that's another thing. We also walked away with Britain, the Afghan Protectorate of Britain, Wales, Ireland got united, and so did Scotland get its freedom. But yeah, I feel like that's a pretty good run. I'm quite happy with this. I'm going to quickly clean up Saudi Arabia and the Middle East, and I'll see you in just a moment. And there we go, all wrapped up. I even ended up taking Tibet and Nepal and Bhutan in the end, just to make everything look a lot cleaner and look a lot nicer. But there you go. You know, I did foreshadow and say 1957, 1958. Here we are in 1956. I think that's a really bloody good estimate. But with a caliphate like this and an Afghan Protectorate of America and an Afghan Protectorate of England, I'm pretty sure this is all right. According to the AI, they seem to believe I'd give the Soviets a run for their money as well, should this turn hot. But I feel like this went well. I feel like this has actually been a really, really good playthrough, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and also let me know what you want to see in the next video. Till then, all the best. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Again, if you have enjoyed, don't forget to, of course, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have a good one. Ta-da!